Thank you everyone for joining us today for this session, Understanding ISO 55013, Guidance on Management of Data Assets. We have Shiv, Iyer here today to talk through this. We will be taking questions at the end of the session. We are using Slido for this, so if you go to slido.com, I'm going to put the number in the chat, and you can access that and you can add questions as we go along. And if you see other questions on there, or there are questions that you thought you might have wanted to ask, you can also vote the questions up so we can have the most popular ones answered first. Any questions that we don't manage to answer during the session, we will be able to take offline and have answered after the session and put into the eventual knowledge article that will have the video recording and the sessions there. So if you're ready to share your slides, Shiv, then we can proceed.
Yep, Rob, can you give me permission to share?
Oh, of course. That would help, wouldn't it?
Is my screen visible now?
Yes, all good to go.
Oh, good to go. All right. Well, good day, everyone has logged in from different parts of the world. We're going to be talking about ISO 55013 today. But before we jump into our main topic of the session, I'd like to do a quick safety value integrity moment, which is what I do with every presentation talk that I give. Um, so today I'm going to talk about blue light. It's going to be a health moment. As you all know, as we move into the digital age, we are bathing in blue light, and that is causing severe chronic diseases in this human machine. We have adapted to be awake with the rising of the sun and fall asleep with a few hours after the sunset. But this practice that our machine has a body, a human body and machine has adapted over hundreds and thousands of years has been abruptly disrupted in the last, I would say, half a century with the advent of modern electronics and our transition into the digital age is causing a lot of disruption in the way the body functions. So the key hormone here is melatonin. That's what puts you to sleep when the sun goes down and then wakes you up in the morning when the sun is getting ready to come up. Uh, Now, what disrupts that secretion of the melatonin is the constant beaming of blue light that comes from the electronic devices that we keep staring at 16 to 18 hours a day. And what we have right 3 centimeters behind our retina is the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN. That is our body's internal clock that tells the liver, heart, and kidneys to start cooling down and go into self-clean mode. And then when the sun rises, it tells it to start getting ready for working hard during the daytime. So the extra beaming of blue light is causing a lot of health problems. So what's the biohack for that? Simple, reduce exposure to devices at least 3 to 4 hours before you go to bed. And one of the most important biohacks you could do is to block 100% of the blue light from these devices while you're working during the day. Where 100% blue light blocker glasses like the ones that I'm wearing. Whenever you're in front of a screen, whenever you're behind, inside the house, behind glass, because glass blocks most of the wavelengths of the light and lets mainly blue light come into the house. So, be aware of that. Don't over LED and don't over, illuminate the home, and some of these few things that please keep in mind. If you're interested in this topic more, go and type in Dr. Jack Cruz, who's a neurosurgeon, in your preferred search engines. There's a link to a YouTube video, so you can learn more about blue light and how it could help you become more healthy. All right, enough of the health moment. Let's get right into the main topic. Technical Committee 251 is one of the 800 technical committees and subcommittees that the International Standards Organization operates through in producing global standards that agencies all over the world refer and use in their day-to-day business in trying to comply and produce a good service that they're in the business of. So how the international standards are produced are through these technical committees and subcommittees. So TC251 is the technical committee set up specifically to look into asset management. So our we have Louis Appleyard as the committee manager. You have a chairman's advisory group, and TC251 is sponsored and managed by the British Standards Institute. So most of the staff, especially the chair and the committee manager, comes from BSI. Now, the TC251 itself produces standards, works on topics of interest through what they call as working groups. So as you can see, various working groups have been set up to work on very specific documents. WG4 was tasked with 55,000 revision. WG6 was tasked with 55.1 revision, and 8, 7, 8, and 9 were tasked with producing brand new technical specification, or sorry, I should say guidance documents. We are going to be talking about the work of work group 9, that is data valuation. Uh, I am the deputy convener, or I was the deputy convener until the last chairman's advisory group meeting that produced the standard with my counterpart from China, Dr. Yang, who was the convener. So here are the movers and shakers in the ISO TC 251. I'd like to thank Charles Corey, the previous secretary, as well as Reese Davis, the past chair of the ISO Technical Committee 251, under whose aegis we started this work of producing 55,013. The current chair and secretary helped us get through the finish line, Tom Goodyear and Louis. Their effort was instrumental in the standard finally seeing the light of the day. Here are my colleagues from different working groups that we all collaborated, although most of the work was done in work group 9 for this standard. We still have to maintain alignment with other standards that are already in existence and the ones that are being developed, so that what we provide as statements within the clauses do not conflict the existing standards. So we were a very close knit group, talking and collaborating all the time as we moved the draft of the standard through various stages. And not to mention the least, the 50 work group 9 experts from over 13 countries who participated in hundreds of meetings across 3 years, donating 1,000 plus hours. Our group of experts that directly contributed to 55,013 numbered sometimes close to 100 people who had registered.